Let's get this level, because this is not level. This is like rocking. Hey everybody, it's me, Derek the Chocolate Botanist, and I'm cleaning my patio again, and I need y'all's help because we know I'm not going to do this without y'all being here. So I need y'all to keep me entertained, and I'm going to entertain you, and we're going to entertain each other. So hold on. There we go. Need something for the thumbnail. We're going to keep each other entertained. Y'all ask me plant questions. I tell you plant answers. You ask me no plant answers, and I give you no plant lies. And I'm going to be out here. Make sure y'all tune in, like, comment, all that stuff. We've been cleaning the patio, right? This is the patio. Let's actually turn it down. Make sure I actually put my shoes all the way on so y'all don't talk about me. I've considered doing this, but I can't bring myself to broadcast your messy apartment. Look, my apartment is the next step because I have 2.2 million gnats in my apartment I've been trying to get rid of. There's been like random things they've just been chilling out on. And it's literally to the point of if I leave anything wet in my apartment, they just get on that. And this is why I'm not going to say that. We're about to get a little lascivious. I'm jealous, dude. I missed my last place's balcony. Look, you should miss your place's balcony. Make sure y'all are sharing this with the people. So we are cleaning off this patio. And by cleaning it off, I mean I want to be able to like actually get this to a place I used to be. So last week we rearranged all of this. Or was it the week before? Either way, we rearranged all of this. We moved everything around. And I want to be able to clearly walk up here, clearly have space to like plant, and be able to move. Sidebar, if any of you want to donate like $80 to me, I need to replace one of these wood boxes. I can give you my cash app or you can just message me. But yeah. Somebody said get a big bucket going to mix old dirt in it. I do that already. I have so many big containers. So that's, what we're going to be doing. Those of you who are in the triangle, if you need pots, you can come to me. I can be your pot dealer. I will deal you all the pots you can ever want or need right here with these pots. These pots are good for you growing your plants. Why am I using this voice? I don't know. I slipped into it. But you can be sure to get your pots today. Anywho, so, pots. So I got some gloves on just in case, things are crawling. The last time I did this, I had on gloves, and I was so worried about coming into my apartment and like cockroaches, because this is what happens when you tear everything up out here. The insects be trying to escape. Like it's a bug's life for ants. They want to run away. They try to get into my apartment, and I had to say no, in Jesus' name, no, and shoot them out. Hey, Sovereign, and keep them out. And what I did with that was using some bug spray. So we're going to keep going, and y'all can ask me questions, and I'll talk to you all, because again, I'm just trying to really set this area up so where it can look better. It's not going to be perfectly clean until I move out of this place, which won't be until I get a house, but we're just going to straighten it up. Deal? So ask me your questions, hit me up. I wish I had some music playing. Hey there, party people tuning in. Hey dude, a little tip for the gnats. Those yellow sticky traps kills them like crazy, although other flies don't fall for them as easy. So there are all types of sticky traps you can get for gnats. I have several in the house. I make all types of traps, but it's about getting rid of the gnat stage. So when you're treating your pests, right? When you are getting rid of any of those things that are just bothering you, you need to have a way to interrupt every part of their life cycle, especially the stage where they're like being born. So I've recently, oh God, y'all didn't see me throw that over. So there's been these little roaches crawling into my apartment, and apparently they were in that pot there that I just threw over the side. We're going to see what y'all are talking about. Hey, Donut and Gomez and Zion's Journey. I'm glad there's not a lot of people up here. because that would have been virality. And they were just like, hey, it's us. We crawling around in here. And I'm like, I keep seeing your siblings dead in my apartment. Ugh. Well, they're gone now. That pot, I kind of like that pot. I'm going to have to definitely climb over to me. I'm going to go back downstairs and get that pot. I just threw over the edge. What are y'all doing on this Sunday? I'm glad people are coming in. Y'all missed me throwing a thing over. Do I ever get liquid insecticide soap? I don't use it unless it's absolutely necessary, but it can work. I do, but here's a trick. So here's a hack I can give you all. When you're trying to get rid of gnats, like if there are a bunch in your kitchen and you're just trying to like, you're doing one of these numbers, you're doing one of these numbers, you're doing one of these numbers, right? I just get a spray bottle, a good spray bottle. I fill it up with water and some dish soap. Just something where when I spray, it's sudsy, right? Because what happens, I can spray, adjust the spray nozzle, knock them buggers out the air. The gnats are knocked out of the air. They now are covered in suds and soap. They die because insects breathe, in some cases through their exoskeleton, like through the pores of their bodies. And in most cases, you don't want to just be covered in something that can't make you breathe or help you breathe. So I cover them in that. They die. They die. But for the larvae, I have BT in the house. So like mosquito bits, I made a video about it on TikTok, I think. But I do that for them on the inside, and I just spray it into the pots. But like, it's a bunch of adults, so there's like an area where they're coming from, and I just don't know where all the larvae are turning into adults. So I've been cleaning up, and I was like, if I clean up out here too, and then when I come out here, it won't look as bad. Because again, I have all these pots sitting here, and eventually I may just do an event or something, see if I can do an event and get rid of all these pots and be like, y'all come and like chat with me or something. I need to figure that out. Who's in the triangle? Who's in the triangle? Any of you in the triangle? Like, I have so much pots. Like this pot I got from a friend. The saucer to this pot is somewhere in the house. This pot I got from like the Dollar Tree, I think. Like I have so many pots I can literally just give away. I could put pots on every person in the neighborhood's patio. Do you think it's true that mint deters insects? I've heard the different opinions on this. I got to ask, what triangle? Research Triangle Park in North Carolina. Mint and some other essential oils can shoot insects away, whether it's like it kills them or it messes with their senses or like the smell of it covers up the things they're looking for. So while that is true, like you got to take that with a grain of salt. Like I'll use mint oils and other stuff, and that'll cover up the smell of like rotting fruit or spoiled fruit or whatever. I thought something was in here. It was rotting fruit or spoiled fruit. But, and I've used it even with insecticide. So I got a pesticide concentrate that I use. Y'all get that home defense stuff where you spray it around your apartments or your houses, and it's supposed to like keep the insects out. Black History Month, go on ahead. But I got that, and I'll use like what's it called, peppermint oil or other essential oils, so that way the house also smells good while doing it. But I should probably look up to make sure I'm not like making it ineffective by using those oils. So why am I cleaning up this patio? Because I can. Let's talk about that. I have a lot of dirt that's just fallen over to the wayside for years, right? And I used to do like a seasonal, once it got closer to the fall or the spring was sprung, I'd do spring cleaning, clean up the patio and all that jazz, right? But I stopped and just never picked it back up. So now I'm picking it back up because there's just so much loose dirt on this patio that when it comes time for me to like walk around out here, the insects are like, he wants this for us. And now it looks like Joe's apartment, right? All them insects are trying to climb around. So in order to stop that, in order to help that to be prevented, I need to clean up. I sprayed the last time I was out here heavy with a heavy insecticide, But we're gonna do something. I don't think I'm gonna spray this time, but we're gonna keep going. Off topic. I saw the movie The Roof Man, which takes place in Charlotte. I love it. I'm from a different triangle in Canada. Ah. Hey, Pure Lux. So we're again cleaning up. I'm also cleaning up this patio because I've had a lot of pots break, and then like the terracotta just stays like in various broken pieces, and then I want to eventually put things back together, and I can't because like everything's broken. Let's see, I thought I had a dustpan out here. There it is. And then the last reason I'm cleaning up, and this is why you should really keep a watch of your areas that you're gardening in and doing stuff in. You want to make sure that you are literally keeping these areas like in a heavy rotation and movement, right? I had a heavy wasp problem earlier, or in like a couple of months ago, not even that long time ago. And there was just a swarm of wasps who had decided that my patio was now theirs. So keep doing that. For those of you doing, I'm cleaning up my patio, you're helping me by talking to me, asking me your questions. You want to jump on here on the live and talk to me, you can. Dude, I have had a broken terracotta pot in the corner of my kitchen for like 8 months. Thanks for the reminder, super glue. Look, there's no problem. Go to your local dollar store, get you some super glue, and put that baby back together. Save money, man. You see, I am really saving money, especially because there's so much loose soil up here. I could like fill pots up that need to be filled back up. Just by sweeping up the soil and putting it back in rotation. So I got my garlics going. Those of you who are curious, my garlics are still going. I thought I had my sages and carrots started, but I feel like they only started actually in one pot, and then the other pot is just some wildflowers that are just kind of taken off, even though I didn't want them to. So it's kind of sad. Because I'm noticing like there's different, let me show y'all what I mean. So when I'm looking at these seedlings, I'm seeing different seed leaf styles, germinate styles. Like they look different. And when they look different, that is kind of a sign to little old me that something is wrong or not right. Boom, somebody said, have I ever grown morning glories? I have not. Just trying to flip my camera. I don't even have the option to flip my camera up. There we go. So y'all see this one right here? I think this is actually the germinate I'm looking for. And these, because this happens to me, this is why I don't do a lot of germination. Like some of these are the seeds I want, but I think these are these. Like you see? You see? So I'm gonna carefully pluck these out real quick without getting the ones. But you see how different they look? Like, let's see if I can put one beside each other. Like, this obviously even bigger. You see how different they look? Right? And I think this is that chickweed I get that ends up being, you know, heavily, and I'm guessing it seeds itself, which I must have had a rough year if it did that. But I'm going to take most of this out. I don't know, though. Maybe it isn't. What do y'all think? I took some of them out because I wouldn't have a bunch of sages in here anyway. But I feel like those are, because it's like this same seedling that's also over here, and it shouldn't be because this is supposed to be carrots. You see? And I'm sure they bloom into beautiful flowers. I don't have a lot of vining things up here anymore. I did do a watermelon one year. We're talking about a person who was telling me about growing morning glories. Morning glories are in the same family as sweet potatoes, and they are amazing little buggers because they can bloom in the morning, and you have some that can bloom at night. You have some that can bloom in the morning, some that can bloom at night, but it's not really it. So I don't really have space. So we're gonna keep going. We're cleaning off this patio. Y'all are asking me your questions, hitting me up. That way I can get this patio done. I feel like if I do this in a couple of stages, this is better for me. Because if I'm out here with you all, then I'm not alone. And I know I have some friends in the area who be like, I'll come and clean up for you. But I don't be wanting that. Oh, look at this. This is the lid of one of my trash cans I had out here for soil. I gotta get that back to my sister. And look at this, more pots. So anybody who's growing plants, definitely tell me how your plants are doing. I'm trying to get like a lot of this just old soil off the ground, off of this patio here, because it just sits. Like, there's a certain point where I could probably wouldn't like this. I could probably literally grow turf with all this soil that's on the ground. Well, that broke. There was an insect on that one and it ran. This is why. And this is why I want y'all out here with me. Nobody would ever believe I just fell off the patio. And this is the other reason why I wanted to clean the outdoors here. You know, when you have a lot of plants growing near your place, the insects you find inside are an indication of the ones living just outside of your door. Like, not just in your neighborhood, not just, you know, they're outside, but like literally just outside of your door. But if I don't want to see them anymore, I could spray all day, every day. But if I don't want to see them, I just need to get rid of the habitat. And unfortunately break a beautiful terracotta thing. Do y'all ever re-enrich the soil and use it again in the future? I like to dry it out. I like to dry the eggshells, bones, and banana peels and grind them up and add them to old dirt. So I actually do. I use compost. I use some inoculants. I use all types of stuff in order to reinvigorate my soil. A lot of the stuff I use, including slow release fertilizers, is either about helping my soil's like populations increase, the soil's microbe population increase, or helping the soil to be overall more nutritious, or some combination of both. Some combination of both. So, yeah. I think whenever I finally do redo, because they're going to ask me to move all this stuff when they do the patios, I'm thinking about asking somebody to come over and help me move everything and like put some good fabric down. I got some filter paper I'm going to try to use, but something good. Basically my own homemade slow release fertilizer, so that's a very slow release from what you said. Because banana peels would go to feed your soil's microbial population, not directly your plants. The calcium from the egg cells, like if you grind them down, can be released in at minimum a year. And that's a minimum a year. And I feel like the same would be for the the bones of the bones you're crushing up. So definitively keep that in mind when y'all are making slow release fertilizers. The reason that we even have things like this is because they are more effective than the stuff we can make at home. Nothing we make at home can compare. I mean, I grind up into a powder. It's kind of cool looking. I love that. So, I'm gonna see if I can get all the pieces of this back up. And I break something. I tell you, I break it. I think I could at least kill the cockroach while it was running away. But I guess not, huh? Look at that freaking Jenga to put back together. Oh yeah, it's just one of many tools. Cool, cool. And you know, I'm not gonna go as long as I did last time, because last time I think I went for a couple of hours. But this time I think I'm just gonna sweep up a little bit and make kind of a forward direction. And then go from there. Maybe it'd be fun to take all the broken pieces and make a big pot. Look, I would love to. I don't have that type of artistic ability. I just do what I can, you know? I am nobody's artist. I got a cousin though, who is an artist, phenomenal artist, Miles Wilder. He is so talented. He is somebody I feel like in, you know, my lifetime, they'll be interviewing me and being like, tell us about your cousin. And I'll be like, I met him haphazardly. I didn't even know we were related. We were working together and we found it out. And it makes sense because we have so many familiar similarities. The reason my space gets so chaotic is mostly for me saving up materials for such projects. Look, I get it. I will save up stuff for composting. I will save up stuff for all types of great ideas I have. Like, I've recently gotten a, so I do a little dumpster diving sometimes here at the apartment complex. Somebody threw out a beautiful, beautiful paper shredder. And it can do 12 pieces. And I know when you're trying to do like cardboard, like real good cardboard, you want something that can do like 24 pieces easy, like, you know, a lot of pieces at once, because cardboard is kind of thick. But I got it, and then boom, it was amazing. And I can do cardboard kinda. Do I have a compost going? I do. So I have a compost out here, and I got a Bokashi compost. Actually, I don't think I have one indoors right now. I think I brought them outside. I technically have one going from, what is that thing called? Vermicomposting. I technically have one of those going, but outside of that, I don't really have a lot of composting going right now. Those of you joining in, we're cleaning my patio. You're helping me. You're talking to me right now. Stu Normus is actually winning in the conversations. So y'all gotta get like Stu Normus. Yeah, I have a like failed vermicomposting I gave up on. I threw it in with like this big container I have of soil in my apartment, and then when I was doling out, because I mix up soil for classes, when I was doling out soil for classes, I ended up getting like a lot of worms in there. It was cool. But I think with where I am right now, I've cleaned an area of the patio I have not seen, like physically been able to lay eyes on in a while. Hey, Giovanni. So I feel like I'm gonna wrap up and just call it a night. I've seen more insects than I wanted to today, jumping and hopping out at me. But this is why you clean your patios. You clean your patios so that way you can get rid of the things that are bugging you. Like, I can't just be like, they're inside, you know. I have to do something different. My next project I'm going to do, which will be next Sunday, because I'm going to just try to do these lives around this time Sunday, 5 o'clock Sundays. I need to be able to bring my ginger in. And I need to, because I have a ginger plant that's out here, right? Now, those of you who've been watching this, we've been going for about an hour, right? Oh, this has only been 30 minutes? I don't think that's right. We have all types of insects that are here because I'm in North Carolina Zone 7, formerly Zone 7B, now 8, right? In the center of North Carolina. There's all types of insects outside, and I have this big pot. This one right here that I want to bring inside. This is ginger right here. I got a little piece from the big one I had last year that I kept up, and I want to bring this in, but there's a problem. I don't want to bring in any insects with that pot, right? So I'm going to have to figure out a way to only bring in what I want. I have an idea, right? But I don't want to use all my peroxide. I could also, there's people who use like neem oil and like flood it with that, or BT and stuff. I'm going to do kind of a couple of things because I don't want, just like drag a bunch of insects into my house emerging from the soil excited, right? We don't want that. We want to just take them out. Earthworms, I don't mind. If they stay in the soil, I don't mind, but I don't want the things that crawl out the soil and be wanting to crawl all over me. I don't know what a murnong is. I don't know what that is at all. I used to use peroxide. I was sure this one was like effectiveness. I had a nightmare from bringing plants in from the fall. Look, peroxide, I have 33% peroxide in my house. And with that 33% peroxide, I will just dilute it to like, most likely 6%. So that will be cutting it by almost 5, like 5 parts water to 1 part peroxide. And I'll probably do like 4 parts. So then 33 divided by 4, what's that? 8. Yeah, that's 8%. So we might do that. And that way it's more effective. When you're taking your regular peroxide that you get from the grocery store, your 3% peroxide you get from the store, and you just dilute that, you're literally just, you might as well just use water. But maybe the adults were just laying more eggs. Well, it's one way. Like when you're doing peroxide, unless you're getting like 70% of anything and then you water it half and half, it's not going to be enough. So it's just one way. This is going to be one way. And you're going to see me do that next week. We're going to mix the peroxide up. I'm going to probably already have it mixed, and then pour it into this, let it drain out, and then go from there. Because I do not want my insects to just be rummaging around in my house. I don't want that. I don't want that. So we're going to do that. And what else? That's it. I think that's it. So happy planting party, people. The weather is insane. It's amazing how warm it is outside right now, and I'm in shorts. Like, I clean up this patio just to be like able to walk by. There's a lot of cleaning because I keep dirtying it right back up. Did you see me in shorts? Legs are out, scratched up because I keep running into something right here. But it's insane. But keep a watch on what you're growing. And then let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what I got. Y'all want to see my planty babies? So right now we have this. This is a cutting of the berries and cream mint I did. Right. I'm going to take this in soon. I'm going to dig around here and pot it up and then take that in. This is a very iris. It was not the variegated one. It's this one, Neomarica gracilis. So that one is growing. I feel like it doesn't like this soil because it's not separating, but whatever. And then we have my ginger right here. That big stem was a sage, not a sage, a bee balm. We have all of these chickweeds here. Okay. Some random seedlings coming up. I don't know what these seedlings are, like this. I don't know what this is. But these are edible, right? And they don't really taste like anything I can reference to you. It's just almost like a salady taste. These are garlics. So garlic, wild garlics. I got some wild onions I got from a friend's house. I'm going to put out here. These may be wild onions too, to be honest. And then seedlings that are supposed to be carrots, but there's a lot of things in here I don't want. Seedlings are supposed to be sages. Stuff that's failing down there. Something's eating my mullein. This is the mother plant of the berries and cream mint. Look at her, and she has in her, of course, one of these beautiful balms that are just like kind of hopped in here. Actually, no, this might be its flowers. I've never seen its flowers before. Look at that. Look at that. I'm finally going to plant my healthy ginger root in, already indoors, dirt tonight. Thanks for the reminder. You're welcome. My lemon balm. The seed's heavy. I have a potato down there. And then I grow an elderberry, and it's looked better, but I didn't water it really good during the summer. And then right in this pot right here, this long one, I have elephant garlic I started in there. But I don't think they're going to go too well because like there's this tree line, right? And it's amazing how, I'm trying to get off of here, but it's amazing how this works. So when we are considering like growing plants, and I'm thinking like full sun, because that's what you want, right? You want full sun. And I have a patio that is facing like west. I believe the sun sets in the west, right? So the sun sets over there. You see these trees? If all of those trees were like lopped, then I would have full sun, not just right here, but also right here, right? But I don't. So this is why I only grow vegetation like up here. This is the reason why. Because if I try to grow it in the space that's like right here, even, it's not full sun anymore. It's amazing how this works. So I could only grow right here. So it's the wildest thing in the world. I know the exact feeling. I'm trying to dig a hole to plant a Burbank prickly pear. There's a giant rock in the hole that's giving me a problem to get out. With giant rocks and stuff, I don't even know what to tell you, but God bless. If I was you, I'd find a group of people and record a video of y'all taking it out like I've seen the other people do. So this is why I grow, which everything grows beautifully. Even these, they'll grow beautifully and they just go towards the sun. And then I always have like things that I have like hanging off. So I can grow here. But these don't get a lot of, these don't hold a lot of water. It's supposed to be like self-watering. You water them and then like water on the bottom is supposed to be able to go up. But that don't work. That mess don't work. I've been so impressed with plants the internet says need full sun. Have seen kick booty in partial light. So they can survive. So like when they say needs full sun, you have some plants that can definitely survive being in partial light. Like this could survive being in partial light, but will it thrive to its fullest, right? You have to do a lot more work when you're doing it that way. Somebody said I had starts. Did somebody say that? You have new starts. I do. Also, let's skip right over these. These are carrots I got from my buddy Bree Arthur. I need to water them. You see these? Y'all see that? I need to water these. And you can tell they're what they're supposed to be because you see that little seed coming off? That's how that was supposed to look. Sometimes rotating the pot in light from one direction help too. It can. So I can rotate this, but like this down here, I can't rotate. This is falling apart. This one is newer, but I can't rotate this. So, you know, these I sometimes will try to like flip them, right? But they're heavy, especially when they have water in them. So, indoors, I will rotate. Outdoors, you're on your own. So many broken promises. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-do-do-do-do. That's the song. What other questions y'all got for me? I need to walk downstairs real quick and get these pots I threw over the edge. Those of you missed it. I had some cockroaches out here that messed up my whole nerves. They threw whole nerves out of whack. So it ended up being, I dropped and shattered a saucer, this one. And then I threw a pot over the edge because there was like 5 of them in there. And that pot is, you see that? It's falling and it can't get up. Somebody call Life Alert. So, yeah. What other commentary I got for me before I get off of here? Do you have frost on the way soon in North Carolina? Soon as in probably end of November. It's amazing what climate change has done to the world, because it used to be, like right now, this is October, this is the middle of October, I would be like wrapped up like in the nook of the north. It used to be. I would be cold weather, getting it together, like we doing different stuff. But there's still, there we go. There was still one of them in there holding down the pie. Just kicked it. We're definitely not going to use this again. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? All I had to do was run. I'm glad I don't have any chickens. I would have been like, chickens, get them. Hey, Ralston. We're on the way to getting one any day now. Yeah, in North Carolina in about November, maybe even December to get a frost. Yeah. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. And this is why I'm trying to start seeds now, because you're supposed to start them like in some cases upwards of 6 weeks at least before your last frost, because you need time. Y'all, these neighbors, I've never seen my neighbors do jack-o'-lanterns before. They did jack-o'-lanterns. This is going to be odd. I don't want to... Look at this. Look at that. It's a rooster and a cat. Amazing. Did I lock myself out my apartment? Climate change has definitely extended our growing season this year, but devastated many crops. As drops his rest. Look, climate change sucks because it's one of the many reasons why the world is so much more expensive. Like food can become so much more expensive, will be so much more expensive. I did all of that to get them out of there. The cockroaches out there, I threw it back outside. Ain't that wild? Food will become so much more expensive because it's harder to grow. It takes more inputs to grow. And sometimes it's like a crazy scientific part of me that wishes, trying to find my bug spray. There's a crazy scientific part of me that wishes we could like make plants absorb CO2 more effectively. Like across the board. So that way we would be better. But whatever. The absolute chaos it causes. I think this rock is a boulder. I'm moving across a couple of feet. You know, I heard back in the day, settlers used to drive boulders. And they can get about 50 boulders or 50 miles off a boulder. That's what I heard. But you don't want to hear me talk about settlers and what the old colonialists used to do. So I'm going to see if I can find, there it is. Kept walking right by it. I am going to go on about my day. Y'all want to see this video in full, it'll be up on YouTube. I'm just going to spray the entrance of the apartment so that way we can be good. I am also about to go to the grocery store because I've made some soup and some vegetables and stuff. And I need to get out of here, so I need some meat to go with the soup I made. I've had black beans, some sweet potatoes, I was supposed to put okra in there. I just realized I forgot, and some other stuff. So I'm gonna wash my hands and do some other stuff. Y'all have a beautiful day. Hit me up with all your plant questions and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.